Welcome back for the third period of this Sunday evening tilt between your Sierra Icemen and the Sherwood Park 701 Knights. Vanderham in to take the draw. Face off won by the Knights, and Binder will give chase on the forecheck as it's worked back into the zone. Smith tries to pin it against the boards. He will momentarily. Binder down there to help out. Vanderham up high. Puck off the penalty glass window and then off the official and in. Puck tied up down below the goal line. The Knights able to get it free. Work it on a pass right up to the middle of Campbell, and Smith gets his stick in there to break up that. Good job by Smith to come back into the slot as Campbell was all alone on that centering pass. Freemark keeps that in. Smith will get the puck and lob it out. Binder will give chase. Binder's got to step on the defenseman. Binder will chase that down. Binder pinned against the boards. He'll hold it and wait for reinforcements as Weeks comes out. Oh, centering pass to Baines. Almost hits him on the far side. Baines forced to retreat back out. Brought in on the delayed offside, but Binder able to get out in time. Weeks tries to force a turnover just inside the Sherwood Park blue line. Sherwood Park brings it in. Good job by Ferris to muscle his man off the puck. Baines tries to center that to Weeks. That doesn't work. And Baines will have to regroup. An outlet pass by Baines tries to hit Perosny on the weak side. Doesn't work, and it's an icing. Weeks in to take the draw against Sahara. Weeks with another clean draw win. Right back to Carrell. Carrell crunched on the boards. Tried to reverse that around, rim it around the boards, and that didn't work, and essentially Sherwood Park player able to pick it up and center that for a good scoring chance. But Jordan closes the door. And Carrera was trying to rim that around to the reverse that to the winger, but it got stalled on the boards, and Sahara picked it up. Carrera with the puck again, bounces off the boards, almost run over by a Knights player that lowers the boom, and Carrera able to get out of the way. That's a brutal boarding hit right on Weeks, and no penalty on the play. Sherwood Park player just crushed Weeks, and he is down in pain. Weeks facing the boards right against the bench where there's no glass, and he was folded right over the player's bench. Weeks back up into his feet. He'll take a seat on the back of the bench. We'll keep an eye on that development, as I am sure he is shaken up. 17:57 remaining in the third period. 2-goal lead for your Icemen. Gwinnett wins the puck battle with a Homulus. Homulus almost stripped to the puck, but he'll fire it in below the goal line. Sherwood Park can't corral that cleanly, and foot pinches. Knapsick moves it to Gwinnett. Not going to be waved on the delayed offside. I thought it was going to be blown down on the offside. Puck kept in by the Iceman. Back to the point to Foot. Foot tries to move that to Gwinnett. He's caught down below. Homulus misfires, and it could be a break. 2 or 3 on 1. No. Foot gets back in time to negate that, and Homulus tries to hit his man. His man got out of the way, and both go into the boards. Hit on Sawyers by Frey. Puts Sawyers to the end boards as he lobbed that out. Foot lobs that in on the backhand, in on Toner. who catches that and will hold on as Knapsick is standing at the blue paint. Vanderham in to take the draw. They win it forward. Clean draw win, but goes off the board now. Carrier has got to be quick to not get forced on a turnover. Sherwood Park will pick it up. Try to go short side. Jordan back to the opposite side and going to be a hit. Going to be a penalty upcoming by Vanderham. As McMillan gets into it with Vanderham. I think this should even things up here as McMillan should go for roughing. But Vanderham's going to go for what I believe will be a hit to the head. Sherwood Park player say a few words to Jordan, who ushers him off. So McMillan possibly cancels out the power play as Vanderham goes to the sin bin as well. We'll see if it's a double minor for hit to the head for Vanderham, which would allow Sherwood Park to still be on a 5-on-4 advantage. But McMillan sticking up for his teammate. Not impressed with that hit by Vanderham. So things getting elevated here in the third period. Just under 4 minutes into this third, and we have a stoppage in play. Looks like a double minor, which would force the Icemen to put a player from the ice on into the bench to serve the additional 2 minutes. So it will be a Sherwood Park 701 Knights power play. This might be the first power play of the game for the Knights. As I see Binder and Smith out here to start this PK along with Colomb and Carrier. General conversation occurring between the officials and Coach Ferris. Face-off will be to the right of Jordan as we are about to get underway here again. Vanderham, I believe, double minor hit to the head. And McMillan, 2 minutes for roughing, puts the Knights on the power play. Zahara in to take the draw against Binder. Binder wins the draw to the boards. Colomb protects the puck along the boards. Binder tries to come in to clear that down. That doesn't work. Zahara curls back for the Knights. Zahara up to Freemark. Back to Zahara. Zahara back up to the top. He'll move it up, kick it across to the opposite corner. The Knights looking for a cross-team play. Right back up to the middle to Redmanovich. That shot misses the mark. Colomb clears it up and down the ice as Smith will get off. A minute 23 remaining in the penalty kills. Weeks comes on in relief of Smith. Forced turnover. Bad pass by the Knights. Allows Binder to clear it back down the ice again. Binder will go off. Gwinnett back out. Good shot block by Gwinnett. As that shot in on net doesn't hit the mark, and Gwinnett will clear it out again. Under a minute remaining in the Sherwood Park power play as Freeman carries it in. He's muscled to the boards by Carrero on a bobbled puck. Freeman still trying to gather it up. We'll move it around to the half wall to Zahara. Zahara's still out here. That takes an odd bounce off the boards. And Carrero able to pick it up and get off the ice with Ferris with 25 seconds remaining in the power play. Weeks breaks up that zone exit. Gwinnett still out here, forces a turnover, and Weeks dodges a hard hit right at the bench, and a Retaliatory cross-check right up in the neck of Brady Weeks, and he is down. No call on the play. It's essentially a 5-on-3 down low. Great stop by Jordan on the rebound. Weeks to the bench. Sawyers dodges a hit. And he's going to call a kneeing penalty. So the official calls a kneeing penalty as Sawyers entered the zone. So no penalty on the cross-check up high on Brady Weeks. But a call right after that, so your Icemen will go on the power play. 5-3 lead for your Icemen. 14:32 remaining in the third period. Puck back to Ferris. He'll sift that to the opposite corner to Binder. Binder with the puck. Back down to Porosny. Porosny fought off a check, and it's a clear 2-on-1 with Baines on defense. Good job by Baines to prevent that centering pass, and Ferris will pick it up and drive up the near boards and into the zone. Ferris curls back. He drops it for Porosny. Porosny gets through, tries to move it over to Binder on the back side. That doesn't work. And Sherwood Park able to clear it all the way back down the ice. And Thiessen throwing some fists at Porosny. No penalty on the play as Porosny gave Thiessen's teammate a shove before that. The official's arm wasn't up at all, but we're going to see. It's going to give coincidentals, I believe, to Thiessen and Porosny, so we'll continue 5-on-5. So roughing minors to each individual. Porosny and Thiessen in the box for 2 minutes apiece. And your Icemen will continue on the power play. A minute 21 remaining. A 2-goal lead for your Icemen. Just over 6 minutes gone in this third frame. And initially it was icing, that coincidental penalties will put the face-off at center ice. Gwinnett in to take the draw. Gwinnett ties up his man, allows Knapsick to come in. Sawyers comes in as well. Homulus gains the line. Homulus protects the puck. Back to Sawyers. Sawyers, shot from the point. Right into the breadbasket of Toner, and he will hold on. Face-off won by Sherwood Park, but Sawyers will gain the puck, try to tuck it in, and now tempers are flaring as Sawyers and Gwinnett are getting mugged in front of the net. The Knights players none too happy as Sawyers drove to the net with the puck, ran over Toner, and we'll see what comes of this. Radanovic is going for the Knights, and Gwinnett going for the Icemen. So it looks like it's going to be coincidentals again. I would be surprised if it's nothing more than coincidentals here. And your Icemen remain on a 5-on-4 power play. So both goalies have been bumped with body contact throughout this game. I would be surprised if that stops now with 13 and a half minutes left. But both teams do not want to give the upper hand to the opposition. The Icemen to allow this Knights team back in the game, and the Knights to allow the Icemen to extend their 2-goal lead. Discussion at the referees circle. Weeks and McBain, the captains in for their respective teams, getting an explanation for each of their coaching staffs. Well, we'll see what the outcome is here. I see an additional 2 minutes on the board for Sherwood Park, actually, so it might be a 5-on-3 for the Icemen. I would be shocked, and I'm sure the Knights coaching staff will be up in arms if that is the case. After Toner was knocked over by Sawyers as he drove to the front of the net with the puck. So McMillan will be in as the extra body in the Sherwood Park sin bin, who now have 4 players in the sin bin. Almost a full complement line change. Well, with this much of a delay, we'll see which team gets back to life here first. As the flow of the game has stopped completely here. I see 5 players on the ice for the Icemen, and only 3 for Sherwood Park. So it's going to be a 5-on-3. Haynes, Binder, Weeks, Smith, and Ferris. Your 5 out for the Icemen. Face off to the right of Toner. 5-on-3, and we will get underway here. 13:35 remaining in this third period. Binder with the puck, moves it back to Baines, who can't keep it in. That bouncing puck eludes him. He got to corral it and regroup at center. Baines in, gains the zone. He'll circle behind the net, over to Binder. Binder looks. Smith posted up in front of the net. Weeks to Ferris. On the half wall, back over to Baines. Baines shot through traffic, and Smith standing in front. That just missed. Iceman will have to tag up, exit the zone. Weeks will chip it in and give chase. Smith in pursuit. Smith tries to force a turnover, which he does. Weeks in to try to pull that puck out of the pile. He'll move it to Ferris. The Iceman will get set up again. 7 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3. Smith to the front of the net, looking for the rebound. Dumped on his stomach. And Toner able to cover that up, or maybe it hit the side of the netting. So at any rate, 1 penalty off the board. We're back to 5-on-4. Sherwood Park looking to kill this off and gain momentum. The Icemen are looking to extend their 2-goal lead. Face off 1, Binder to Baines. Shot on net by Ferris. Easily steered aside by Toner into the opposite corner. Vanderham to Ferris. Ferris looks, across to Baines. Baines to Weeks, and on a delayed offside call, the official's going to say that it came out just outside the line as Baines drug it across the blue line. So the faceoff will be right in front of the Sherwood Park bench. Coach Ferris switches up the 5-man power play formation again with 37 seconds left in the 5-on-4 as Giamaroli lowers the boom on the defenseman who cleared the puck deep in the zone down the ice. Homulus gains center. Homulus evades his man on the entry, but inadvertently Sherwood Park able to clear it back down the opposite way, and that rimmed puck evades Jordan and goes to the opposite corner. Colomb moves it over to Sawyer. Sawyer's just short of gaining center. Will fire it in, and Giamaroli, who is coming in on the opposite side for the hard rim around the boards. And icing is called. So icing called and a face-off to the left of Jordan. Weeks back out to take the draw. Weeks wins the draw to Carrier. Carrier moves it up just to the blue line. Still not out. It's held in. Centering. Puck by Pittman into Jordan. He'll cover up. So Sherwood Park looking to gain momentum off of the 5-on-3 penalty kill. They killed off both penalties. Back to even strength as Colomb clears it around to Carrier. Carrier to Porosny. Porosny, quick pass out to Weeks. Weeks will gain the zone. Baines holds up at the blue line to wait for Weeks to bring it in on the entry. That's picked off. Sherwood Park back the other way. Pittman doesn't realize the puck is where it's at. And Carrier with a hard hit on Pittman. Pittman comes back at Carrier. Great job by Carrier to close the gap and finish the check in the corner. That shot by Weeks goes off a body, off the glass, and back to Toner, and he will hold on for a whistle. 10:56 remaining in this third period. 5-3 for your Icemen. Back to some 5-on-5 play. Face off one forward by Vanderham. Clean draw win right back on Toner, and he puts the glove down for a whistle. Quick defensive change-up for Coach Ferris. Will put Foot and Homulus out. Homulus pinches down. Sherwood Park trying to get out of the zone. Can't, and Smith will send that back in on Toner, and he'll hold it for his defensive duo. Homulus back. Tries to move that up. It's kept in by Friedman. Friedman turns it over to Foot. Foot moves it back out to Campbell and no further. Smith with a hard hit along the boards. Puts Campbell down. Smith hits his man on the zone entry, and the official's going to call him for interference, but he had just played the puck. Might be this because Smith gave him a second shove when he was on the ice, but what a great hit by Smith to lower the boom on Campbell. But unfortunately, your Icemen are on the penalty kill, and Sherwood Park will look to gain some momentum. That shot by Freemark off the glove of Jordan into the corner. Giamaroli, Binder, Foot, and Homulus. Oh, here, Binder clears it up to Giamaroli, and Giamaroli will fire it down all the way for Toner to stop for his defenseman. Puck moved up along the near board. Zone entry by Sisa, puts it in, and they'll give chase. Bender will bail out and rim it around the boards, keep it to the outside. Puck in, try to go upstairs, short side on Jordan. and he's got the answer and will hold on with his glove. .1:14 remaining in the penalty to Smith for interference. The face-off to the left of Jordan. Face-off won by Sherwood Park. McMillan moves that around to Cisa as he rims it around to the opposite corner. Cisa hounded by Gwinnett. Gwinnett and Carrero, who forced the turnover, and Gwinnett will lob that down the ice. Toner will stop it for his defenseman. Cisa off the ice in disgust, slamming his stick against the bench as a forced turnover by Gwinnett, and Carrero forced Sherwood Park to regroup. Carrero up to Weeks, and Weeks chips it in the neutral zone. He'll give chase. 38 seconds left as Sherwood Park comes back the other way. Sherwood Park tries to go upstairs, short side again on Jordan, who snags it with a glove as Steinhauer tried to elevate short side up over the shoulder of the Iceman keeper. 31 seconds remaining in the penalty to Smith for interference. Sherwood Park with another face-off win. Fired through traffic. Rebound. Another shot. It's loose in the slot and gathered up by Sawyers, and he'll clear it down the length of the ice. The Icemen able to get fresh defensive legs on the ice as Colomb and Carrier come on the ice. As the final seconds tip down on the penalty to Smith, Elliott will bring it wide. Centering pass, dribbles right through the blue paint, and the penalty is up, and Smith is out of the box. We're back to even strength. Sawyer strips his man of the puck. It's a 3-on-1. Sawyers will drive wide. Curl back. Centering pass. Hits Knapsick, and the puck inadvertently onto a Sherwood Park player's stick and lobbed down the ice for an icing. So Smith out of the box, and the Icemen able to get a 3-on-1, but Sherwood Park able to break up that scoring opportunity. 7:56 remaining in the third frame. 2-goal lead still for your Icemen over the Sherwood Park 701 Knights from Kenilworth Arena. Carrier's got to go all the way back for this as it's waved off on the touch. Carrier with a bounce pass to Perosny doesn't connect, and that will be an icing. Weeks, who has been deadly in the faceoff circle, in to take the draw. As I say that, the faceoff won by Sherwood Park, but Perosny able to come in and help out and clear it out and into the neutral zone. So Icemen have to tag up. That puck is lobbed into the neutral zone and chipped in by McMillan. Sandham will give chase. McMillan tries to center that. Colomb, good job to chip that out into the neutral zone and force Friesen to go back to get the puck. Perosny picks that off. Perosny to Weeks. Weeks tries to center that back door to Baines. That's intercepted off a stick of a Knights player. Rimmed around the boards, and Carrier will keep it in again. Weeks tries to send that back down. Low, that doesn't work. And Colomb's got to get on his horse and get the turnover, which he does. 3-on-2. Colomb back to Weeks. Shot as Weeks dropped to one knee, and a good shot as Toner got the right pad on it and kicked it aside. Puck in the Knight zone as Weeks goes for a line change, and Vanderham will come out. Baines shovels it back down to Perosny. Perosny centering in the backhand, looking for Vanderham. And the Knights again lob the puck down the ice for an icing to relieve the pressure and get a line change. Face off to the right of Toner. Just over 6 minutes remaining in this third frame. Puck up to the wall. Homulus able to keep that in momentarily. Foot steps up and hammers that back in from the other side of center to force Sherwood Park back in their own zone. Binder with the puck. He'll drag it almost to the half wall. Centering pass off of a body. Vanderham fires it off of a skate. Sherwood Park comes out to center, but no further. As I say that, Vanderham forces a turnover. Foot will clear that back out in the neutral zone, and Zahara will have to regroup for the Knights. Homulus picks off that regroup. Homulus stands up his man at the Icemen bench, and Foot tries to send Bender away. The icing is waved off as Toner stops it for his defensive partner. Centering pass, Foot steps up, misses that. But Ferris, to help out his D partner, lobs it back in. And that, I believe, will be an icing. So 5:14 remaining in the third frame. A 2-goal lead for your Icemen. Gwinnett ties up his man. Sawyers gets it out over the blue line. And Sherwood Park has to tag up. Ferris with a quick up pass, tries to hit Sawyers. That's intercepted by Redmanovich, who sends it back into the Iceman zone. Pittman can't hold it in at the blue line. Gwinnett forces it out. Sawyers moves it across to Knapsick. Knapsick, turnover. Worked back around to the opposite boards. Carrero moves it to Ferris. Ferris up to Gwinnett, doesn't hit him. But Sawyers just smartly puts it down into the Sherwood Park zone, and the Icemen lucky to get caught, not give up a breakaway or a 2-0 there, as both defensemen were looking to intercept that outlet pass with Knights players behind them. 4.5 minutes remaining in the third frame. Weeks in to take the draw. Puck back to the point to Carrero, or to Carrier. He stumbles, able to keep it in momentarily, and then shovels it back in deep. Good job by Colomb to close off the weak side. That puck up around the ears of a Sherwood Park Knights player, Campbell, on the zone exit. And another inadvertent exit pass by the Knights will have an icing. Weeks in to take the draw to the left of Toner. Colomb with a backdoor pass to Weeks. Nice job to see Weeks opening up into the open ice. And Colomb almost found him, or did find him. Just a stick from a defenseman in the way. He eludes that chance. It's a clear 2-on-1. Campbell is going to drive to the net. Lob pass doesn't connect, as a clear 2-on-1 doesn't materialize for the Knights. Baines and Friesen tied up along the boards. Some lively parents in the crowd here are yelling, as I believe it's going to be Friesen and Baines going on coincidentals. So both Baines and Friesen off to the sin bin, coincidentals. So we'll continue on 5-on-5. Vanderham, Smith, and Giamaroli. Homulus and Foot. 3.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Vanderham with a clear draw win. Foot over to his deep partner, Homulus. Homulus to center. He's run into the boards at the penalty box. Giamaroli will chip that in. Homulus back to his feet. No worse for wear. Giamaroli gives chase, forced a turnover. Vanderham able to pick it up. Try to strip his man of the puck on the far boards. Smith dumps his man to the puck. Oh, good play by Homulus to get into the slot, and a good shot. Almost evades Toner. Smith will rim that puck around to the opposite corner. Puck up to the blue line, but not out yet. It just gets out, and Smith will dump that back in. Sherwood Park with a 3-on-2, and they're going to go offside on the 3-on-2 and prevent a scoring opportunity with 2:36 remaining in the third period. So Sherwood Park with a clear 3-on-2, and unfortunately for them, they go offside. Face-off won by the Icemen, but Carrero's got to hurry up and get the puck over to his D partner, which he does. Ferris up the wall to Knapczyk. Knapczyk with a little chip pass to Gwinnett. Gwinnett will drive the zone, dish it off to Sawyer. Sawyer just off his stick into the corner as he tried to put that on the net as Knapczyk went for the back door, and Gwinnett will turn around and fire that to the back wall. And Sawyer gets right into Toner and bumps him lightly. Toner tries to take out the feet of Sawyer, and a Sherwood Park player shoves Sawyer to the ice. I don't know why the whistle was blown. Maybe on the icing. 2:07 remaining. 5-3 lead for your Icemen. Puck aerialed up to the blue line, but not out as McMillan gets Sawyer up right in the cage. No penalty on the play. Puck chipped out to the neutral zone. Ferris. Up to Sawyer. He'll redirect it in. Knapczyk gets to the center of the ice. Fires it through traffic. That misses the mark. Puck on the back of the netting. Knapczyk takes another run at the defenseman. That doesn't work. Carrero moved that up to Ferris. He had to be quick to get that puck in deep, but it didn't get turned over. Aerial pass up to Knapczyk. He'll knock it down, tries to send it back door to Sawyers. This line's been out here for a long time. We'll have to change up so they don't get caught. Shot on net. No penalty in front of the play as horse-collared as the Iceman player. As Knapczyk gets horse-collared, no penalty on the play as he's hauled down to the ice. So the official putting his whistle away with 1:09 remaining. Knapczyk standing in the dirty area looking to tap that in, and he got pulled down. Face-off won, and that shot hits a body as Perosny got a good shot on the face-off win by Weeks. Good job by Colombe to force the puck off of the Sherwood Park defenseman, and Carrier with another good hit along the boards. Colombe chips up to Baines, up to Perosny. He'll get it out. Perosny gets the puck through center. Throws it to the end wall. Baines gets below the goal line, tries to pick that up. That doesn't work. Perosny looks to try to recover it. He will. Dumps it to Weeks. Weeks will shovel it low as Perosny is bodied along the side wall, and Carrier pinches down. That doesn't work. Weeks will curl back. He chips it out, and Petrovic takes a run at him, and fists fly. Now we'll see if any penalties come out of this with 21 seconds remaining. Just frustration boiling over, as it should have been a charging penalty for Slade White as he took a run at Weeks just inside the blue line. Talk about game management at this point of the game. See if any penalties come out of it or any 10-minute misconducts. Looks like Perosny is going to the sin bin. Coach Ferris looking to organize the manpower. Coach Ferris with 5 on the ice right now, but long discussion between the referee and the linesman trying to sort out the infractions. If there is a face-off in the Icemen zone, it would still give Sherwood Park an opportunity to score off an offensive zone win, and then quickly pull the goalie after that to try to tie things up, but 21.2 seconds remain on the score clock. And no penalties on the scoreboard at this moment, so for us, you might have got a 10-minute misconduct, which would keep the teams at even strength. So we await the decision as a gaggle of players have arrived at the referee's circle to await the decision. No matter what, we will play out the remainder of this 21.2 seconds of the third period. Robin is warning me that the battery on her phone is down under 10%, so we will see where we're at.
Yeah, Albert. It's always thinking like he's like it's gonna be a. I feel like that's not a. The part he's told at the viewer report.
So penalty box to the Sherwood Park side is open. Looks like one player will be getting the gate as he grabs the room key and hits the showers, and gives the Syrup 701 bench a salute, which is unsportsmanlike. A 5-minute major up on the board for Sherwood Park now. That might have been the major for what I believed was a charge. I believe somebody from the bench from on the ice will have to serve the 5-minute major. But Fleming, the guilty party for Sherwood Park, is headed to the showers for the hot water. Be a 5-on-4 power play for your Icemen. We will look to see what happens. Looking to drop the puck. Need one player off the ice to allow for the 5-on-4 to continue. Don't understand the confusion here. Unless there are additional infractions to write up for other parties. .2 seconds remaining. Face off to the right of Toner. Weeks in to take the draw. 5-on-4. Sherwood Park coach now being exited out or instructed to leave the bench. And we will play out the remainder of this game. Face-off won by Sherwood Park. Sawyers tries to chip that up. Sherwood Park will gain it. Pacoda in on Carrier. Pacoda sends it in. Loose puck. Pacoda tries to gather that up. That would have brought them within one. Kept in at the point. Shot from the point through traffic. And as time expires, it'll be your Icemen with the 2 points. The final score, 5 for your SE701 Icemen and 3 for the visiting Sherwood Park 701 Knights. So we will keep the video on for the handshake if the battery will stay going, just in case. Coach Ferris, I'm sure, giving his players instructions to not have anything happen in the handshake line. Hard-fought battle by these two teams. Both teams right in this game till the very end. So it's your Sierra Icemen back on the ice Tuesday night before they hit the road for a tournament in Toronto. I hope you join us for the Tuesday night tilt before they head east. Thank you again for joining us tonight from Kenilworth Arena in Edmonton, Alberta.